Hey, how's it going, guys and gals? Welcome back, welcome back. So we're here, our first week on Fatbeat TV on the INNsider. We're bringing you the latest episode 12, which should be pretty exciting today. We got quite a bit to talk about, especially in terms of QuakeCon news, big Fallout 76 stuff that came from QuakeCon, Twitch changes, and a bunch of other random kind of like weird controversies this week that we've kind of run into, which is really interesting. The other thing I actually even forgot to do was the Ninja one, was another one we would talk about, and I forgot to put that one in there. I don't know if one of you guys
can grab that.
You.
I got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't remember the link for it right away, but I kept seeing that pop around yesterday like crazy, and I was like, whoa. So that's something else.
Something up with Ninja?
Yeah. Well, it's not really big, but it's stirred up some people for no reason, basically. For him just wanting to keep his privacy, which is pretty understandable. But geez, welcome guys and gals. Geez, all the follows and stuff today. Hope everybody's having a fun Sunday so far. Sorry we're running a little bit late. Had a little setup issue with moving everything from INN to Fatbeat for a moment, and I hadn't had time to set it up. But yeah.
I didn't get a cool background like Captain Tutu. Look at his. He's like out in outer space and shit.
That's what I was asking. I'm like, do you want a background?
Right.
You'll never have a cool background like mine. It's just my room.
That's why DC doesn't get one. He's got his own background. He makes his background his own.
I am my background.
I am my background. There you go. So let's get started with that. We're actually going to kind of change up our topics and see like what we think of stuff that we've been playing this week, especially in terms of new games, games that have gotten betas, games that have gotten updates. So let's start with the COD beta. Have you guys got to try the COD beta this weekend? How do you feel about it?
Yes.
I'm a Battlefield fanboy, so don't even ask me about this.
Oh, I am too. I mean, like, no joke. I'll play both just to see how they are, really. But I mean, yeah.
I heard there was an open beta on PC if you haven't pre-ordered the game, but I tried to like open it last night through the Blizzard launcher, and when I clicked on play, it just popped open a web page. I'm like, what the hell? How am I supposed to?
That was supposedly.
Didn't let me download it. I don't know what was going on.
That's part of the new update. It makes you have to really work for it. Apparently.
But yeah,
I was watching some gameplay footage. It looks like COD.
I mean, it's COD.
Yeah, I played last night, and I played a little bit with Tommy here, and I'm a really lapsed Call of Duty fan. I played, Call of Duty 4, of course, my favorite, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and after that, I just kind of dropped off. But this, I feel like it's kind of weird because like Call of Duty fans hate it because it's so different, and like lapsed fans like myself, I really like it because it is so different. It's weird. They changed up the gameplay a lot. It kind of feels like it drew inspiration from like Overwatch in some ways, and a little bit of like a little bit of Rainbow Six, not really, just with like the characters and the classes and stuff. I feel like that's more so like Overwatch kind of thing because you have like your special abilities that you gotta build up to and use, which is really cool. There's a little bit of balance issues with it, but other than that, I really enjoyed it. Like it just feels so cool and so unique.
Didn't they steal some stuff from CSGO too, or was that something else?
Yeah. So they have. I'll talk about. They have a heist mode which is you start off and you have to like buy your loadout, like your guns and grenades and stuff. And like when you kill people, you get more money, so you can buy more stuff. And when you get like the cash, the loot, and you secure it back at the extraction point, you get the most money. And so it's really cool. It's really interesting. I liked it a lot. And that one is like you don't respawn. Like if you die, you're dead. So similar to like CS:GO. So
sounds like they stole the economy from CS:GO.
Yeah, they really did.
Yeah, I got to play it too yesterday, and like some of the three like for me the three biggest issues. Two of them are with items in the game, and one of them is just a general game issue. I like it overall. I mean, like for even the older games, it feels pretty good. I like that it's boots on the ground, so that's a huge thing for me. The only guy that kind of defies that is I can't remember his name. Not Nomad, Ruin. Ruin, where he's got the little gravity hammer.
No, yeah, the hammer thing.
And he's got like a grappling gun that kind of helps you around with that. So that is pretty cool. And like the boots on the ground is really nice. The things I don't like though is a guy named Prophet. One of the operators named Prophet has a shock drone. He can continually shock you for 15 seconds. I feel like that's way too long.
Terrible.
It's too long.
Yeah.
It's guaranteed to kill you if you get caught by it.
Seconds. That's the longest I've ever heard of anything happening in a game.
Yeah.
That's longer than most matches in Call of Duty.
I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's almost like a full 15 seconds that it lasts. If you sit there and get shocked by it and nobody's around, you're just sitting there getting shocked, and all you could do is shoot up and down in a straight line. You can't move left or right. You can't do anything. Like, if you're getting shocked, I could see maybe being able to move really, really slow or something like that, or twitching around and stuff like that, so you at least somewhat attempt to defend yourself. But if your gun's not lined up with that goddamn drone, it kills you. You're guaranteed.
Like your aim gets twitchy. Like you can still
yeah,
you're kind of
something
slow and your
like
aim is twitchy.
at least
not
like
just stuck there looking the same direction.
Yeah, like at least if it was like the older ones, you'd be able to do that. But like this one was just horrible, man. It was terrible.
I mean, are you exaggerating about
no,
15 seconds?
No, it's literally 15
like,
seconds.
That's longer than I'm usually ever alive when I spawn into like a Call of Duty mill. You know, like
I did
so like you drop in and within 15 seconds I've like killed a couple of people and died. You know? Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I got caught one time and it was in the back of the map. The drone just goes by itself. It just goes to this furthest target it finds. Everybody was on the right side of the map. This guy launched it on the left side. I was the only one going up the left side. I got caught by it in the back of the map by my spawn, and I sat there and got shocked until somebody came and killed me, and it was 15 seconds, or probably even more, because by the time he killed me it was 15 seconds.
I didn't even know that. That's crazy.
So I was just like, fuck that. So that's my number one glaring issue. The second one I have is with armor. Armor is so detrimental to this damn game. Like, if you go and you don't have armor piercing bullets on your gun, you're guaranteed to lose a gun battle with that person. You're pretty close, unless you're two, like, tag teaming him, basically. That's like the other one. It's another one that's just, it feels like it's too imbalanced with it. It gives them too much health. Like, I get it, it's armor, but basically making it where
is it as bad as Juggernaut was? Remember that?
It's a little bit worse. I mean, well, not that. Like Juggernaut was a lot. Like he was a bullet sponge where you put like a couple clips into him. This one is like, instead of being able to kill with like half or 3/4 of a clip, you'll need a full clip and maybe some extra on that.
That's
just
a common complaint I've heard, is like the time to kill on this game is like much longer than previous.
It's substantially longer, and then you add the armor on it, and it's even longer. So I don't mind the time to kill.
Open beta stuff though, right? Like this is all stuff that's gonna get patched out.
Yeah, like I don't mind time to kill being longer, but the fact that armor extends it out like almost twice as much makes it just so much worse. And headshots don't count in that terms either. If you have heavy armor, you have heavy armor, and it's covering your head too, apparently. So like, yeah, so that's a big glaring issue. My overall biggest complaint.
Play Battlefield, motherfuckers. You heard it here.
My biggest hands down complaint with COD though, and its open beta, is the menu system. The whole menu system is the worst user intuitive menu I've ever experienced in a game. Like,
yeah, I hate it too.
Okay, so this is a common thing that every single player that has never played this Battlefield, COD Black Ops 4 beta, if you get into the game and you pick an operator, you do not know that you have to change your class. Now that's different. Why should it be different? Because it's a specialist in your class, like, which is what your loadout is, like your guns and all that stuff. They don't call it a fucking loadout; they call it your class. Until you get to the custom loadouts when you like level it up level up enough. So your first initial like bunch of games, you're not even gonna know you can change your weapon until you go and like fish through the menus to do it. And it's so
seems kind of weird.
It's really bad. Like that's my one big complaint. Like I figured it out pretty quick because I'm not, you know, I don't mind, but I'm a tinkerer by heart. But I thought that was a really bad thing, and it was the same in the PS4 beta too. So it's not just local to PC; it's on both platforms. And on console, I imagine it's actually even worse because you have to fish through those menus on a controller, not just on the mouse, where you could do it pretty quick if you really need to, you know. But oof, that was a bad one.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't even think about that, but I hated the UI too. Like it's so ugly and so hard to get around. Stuff.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, like if you want to go and give us the choice of doing operators, like give us the choice to change the loadout as we're picking our operator, because it's not like it forces you to think, because the way it shows like it's specialist weapons is that's what your loadout you're getting and you're stuck with it. Like good luck.
Yeah. The
way it presents it to you, it's terrible by design. In terms of like UI use, they should have done like a survey or something on it, because that was just fucking god awful.
Yeah.
So moving on from COD, that's my big complaints about it. So yeah.
I was just gonna say the same thing.
Moving on from COD, yeah.
So No Man's Sky, I know a lot of us have been playing it after the big next update, and some of the other updates have come out. Like, what are you guys' thoughts on that now?
My thoughts are that I should probably hook up my PS4 so I can play it, because I don't own it on PC. I haven't even tried the update yet.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's really good. It's been a little minute since I've gone back into it. Like I played a lot last week, but I really love it. Every time I do play it, I just get lost and just going places in the worlds. It's so fun.
I'm finally going through the story too.
The nice thing too is like the patch updates. Like every time there's an issue, Hello Games has been really quick on patching all the glitches and like bugs, which is kind of night and day from when the game first launched.
Yeah.
It was quiet for like a month, and then you would all of a sudden get an update, and they wouldn't even tell you what it was for.
Yeah,
I mean, in general, it was like quiet for a whole year after that game launched. The developers didn't even say shit in public, nothing.
I see a Steam update for this game like almost every day, which is crazy.
Oh yeah, it's constant, man. And they're not patching like a couple things, it's like a lot. They're addressing tons of stuff constantly.
Oh yeah. But yeah, no, I'm really liking the state of the game. I hope it continues to flourish now. Like now that it's kind of removed its old shell of a former terrible self.
Made a huge comeback. I mean, it got a low rating on, I think it was IGN gave it a 7 or like a 6 out of 10. But a lot of that was on the new update, yeah. But a lot of that was them saying like lack of content. But they're assessing the game like it's not what it is, I guess, is one way to say it. Like they're saying there needs to be more content, but the game is about exploring these like endless worlds and universe. So for that, it's not a 6 out of 10. It's a lot
lack
better.
Of content.
Now it's got too much content actually now. Like I could go in there for days, and like right now, even as it is, I played a lot this week. And even as it was, I could sit there and spend weeks on that game and still have stuff to do.
Oh yeah, you really can.
So I don't think the reviewer knew that maybe going into it. The other one I know Captain wants to talk about a little bit, and I've got it. I haven't got a chance to play it yet. I'm hoping actually I'm going to sit down and play some tonight after I'm done with everything. But Monster Hunter World, how do you guys feel about the PC release? Whoever's gotten to play it.
I love it. Monster Hunter, I'm a big fan of. I played originally like on the Wii U horrible ass system, 3DS, which is really weird on that system. I managed. I picked it up. Monster Hunter World, I was really excited for it. I picked it up on PS4, and something about it, I just kind of couldn't get into it. But now it's on PC. Like it really feels at home on PC, in my opinion. Just playing it, being able to play, 60 frames, 4K if you can. Just like the controls even are really awesome and really nice on that game. You could customize your keybinds if you want to, but like the base keys are like really good. It's really just, it's like so fun to kind of go in and hunt these monsters and to just continually get their parts and kind of boost your character up with their little armor parts and whatnot. It's so good. I love it.
The game's not any different on PC, right? Like it's still the same.
Yeah,
it was on console. It's just on PC now.
Yeah, it's on PC now. I think some people are kind of a little upset because they don't have like all the console updates that the console has currently, like all the monsters that they have. But that's because it's new to this audience and they're trying to get people to level up and get to max level and whatnot.
So touching back on that, that's actually something that Capcom said that the game was going to launch with, was all the console updates. It should have had all that content. Yeah, that was like one of their big pushes. That by the time that the PC released, it would have everything up to date to console. So that's a lie on their part then.
I feel like it should have too, but I mean, you still gotta level up and whatnot. But I'm wondering, like, those crazy hardcore people that are probably already like max level and already at the end game stuff. That's like what's there for them really.
Yeah. So that's kind of interesting.
But they said that the first like kind of update will be coming out in like 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks or something like that.
Yeah. They did, however, smash apparently the biggest Japanese launch on Steam ever, which is pretty interesting. Like, no Japanese game apparently has done this well, which I thought, it's kind of interesting because I thought that Resident Evil 2 had done that for Capcom. Or not Resident Evil 2, sorry, 7. Yeah, 7. The latest one. The latest Resident Evil, not the remake of 2 that's coming out.
Wait, that like the one, like that weird like VR one?
No. The one that was in like the Louisiana South, basically. Yeah, 7. Yeah, Resident Evil 7. I thought that had crushed that because it sold like 3.5 million copies or something the first week. So I don't know. Yeah, maybe it's kind of interesting. I'm curious to see what happens with that. And then the other one we've got for stuff that everybody's been kind of playing on and off this weekend is the Insurgency Sandstorm beta. So how did you guys feel about that? Did you get to play it?
No idea what the game is. I saw you guys playing it on the Fat B launch.
DC,
yeah, it looked interesting. I've never played it. I've never even touched the first one.
It reminded me of CS:GO. Is it anything like CS:GO?
It's a tactical competitive FPS basically. So basically, yeah, it's kind of just it's got the token system like where you could upgrade up to the token limit, which I think is 10 like total items or slots, like space slots. So like for example, you get a gun, it sometimes costs 3, and then you get like a scope costs 1 or 2. You add like a foregrip and all this other stuff, and each item costs like coins, so you only have so much to work with. I really like it. It's a very big upgrade from the first one. However, the beta does need work. I have high hopes for it because it plays really nice, but there is some like bugs and quirks that need to get out.
Right? Like, yeah, of course there's gonna be some bugs and stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean it's only a month away from launch too, so that's the scary part. It's got a bit of work to do before that. I feel like they could probably do a lot of that stuff beforehand, but when it is playing smooth and everything's going good, man, it is fun. Even in the co-op, like I didn't think co-op was going to be very fun, but the bots get progressively harder. So like that was something that interesting. Like the bots will start acting like real people and like doing their whole little drop shotting and all this other stuff and get a little weird and tactical with it, or try to anyway, quote unquote tactical, and do all kinds of little weird stuff with that. But yeah, it's definitely pretty fun, I think.
Maybe I'll check it out because I dig CS:GO, but I cannot stand that damn community. So hopefully this community may be better.
CS:GO community is not what it used to be.
It's awful for me, at least.
Oh, it's way better now.
Yeah, they're starting to actually go bad about it. Apparently, I've heard a lot of people dropping Siege again because hackers have become a thing again recently.
It's almost like the hacker community just like shifts from one game to another, like in waves, and like one day it's like PUBG, and then like that'll last for a bit, then it's Siege, and it's CS:GO, and they just keep like switching as like people update their anti-cheat.
Yeah, this just seems like they really push that limit. So we got some Red Dead 2. So we're gonna shift topics. Yeah, sorry. We're gonna go to our Red Dead 2 gameplay. Video was released this week. How did you guys get to see it? What do you guys think?
Dude, I'm so excited for that. I'm probably more excited for that game than any game that came out. Yeah, that's coming out. Like, and that's including like Fallout 76 and shit, dude. Like Red Dead looks amazing.
It's just because Rockstar is like the king of like these little tiny details and making these little tiny details like so important, so massive. Just the fact that like the relationships that you build in that game and like all the choices you make kind of affect like everybody around you, which is really awesome. Like they showed off that that girl was like, "You killed my cousin," and such, and she was like trying to send somebody after him. Like that.
Yeah,
was
and just
so
kind of
cool.
like how it looks like you're gonna be able to make choices and shit.
Yeah.
Like instead of like fighting someone, you can de-escalate and like make friendships and stuff like that. Play poker with like your dudes and stuff. It's like it's Grand Theft Horse, you know?
Yeah.
Grand Theft Horse.
That's an accurate description.
Yeah, of course, like you even have like a relationship with like your horse, and you have to like take care of your horse and whatnot, and like depending on like what you do with your horse, like your horse can like you more or hate you more if you like neglect it, which is really, really cool.
Yeah, that's the other thing too, is like they're actually getting pretty deep on how they did the horses in this one too, because there's going to be other breeds, and different breeds will be better for doing different things in the game. So like some breeds will be good for working and doing whatever the hell that's supposed to mean in the game.
So like in GTA, like how the cars
in
work.
battle.
Yeah, pretty much, but better because they're horses.
Right,
exactly.
Man, yeah, I'm excited for it.
I remember seeing a meme about that. Somebody posted, I can't remember where it was, but somebody posted a picture and they were comparing like Call of Duty, like how their beta is kind of like the graphics aren't that great, and it's like the standard Call of Duty stuff, and it was like Rockstar put more detail in one of the horse's testicles than Call of Duty, and like, but like you talk about the minor details, and like everything looks beautiful in Red Dead, right? Like they put so much work into it, and it looks amazing.
That's something I can't get over with Call of Duty on PC though. They still have this like grainy feel to like the textures and everything that I just can't get over.
They put like zero effort into like making it good. They just like release it.
Well, yeah, they're quick, like
they don't even have to. Like they can just slap a Call of Duty name on it,
change a few things,
put any they just change like a few assets, reuse a bunch of other assets, and then like millions of people buy it and shit. So like, why would they have to put in any effort? Because people are gonna buy that crap anyway.
Yeah, true.
I mean, that's the thing too. Because like,
should I tell you guys how I really feel about COD?
I think we got it.
Call of Duty, like they're kind of in that standpoint where they're like, damned if you do, damned if you don't, you know, because like the hardcore don't want it to be changed too much, and then people like me, you know, they want to see change, and so they're kind of in a really weird spot with that.
Well, it's similar to like the No Man's Sky review, right, where someone's reviewing it as a game that it's not, right? Like people look at COD and they want all this other stuff from it, and they kind of hate it because it's not all these other things. But you have to look at COD for what it is. It's a quick shooter that you can hop into that's not complicated.
Yeah,
it's a good thing for that. It's very good at doing that.
And apparently, well, this one, except for its menu thing, which makes it more complicated than it should be.
I will say this, like the one caveat is I've always really enjoyed zombies.
Oh, zombies!
Like, zombies has always been pretty amazing, so I'll be interested to see what they're gonna do with zombies in the new Call of Duty. Plus, you know, the battle royale thing, but I'm not really that hyped about the VR blackout.
No. I'll tell you right now that for me, it's not a game I'm gonna pick up initially. I'm gonna wait till it's on sale.
Same here. Speaking of VR, there is a rumor that Red Dead is going to have VR, and so far every rumor, at least in this like gameplay trailer, has been true. So,
man,
if Red Dead has VR, that would be crazy, dude. I'd be really interested to see how they put that together.
Kind of already had that though. You guys remember the multiplayer from Red Dead 1, where it was just like everybody was in that giant server competing?
Yeah, it basically was the same.
It was almost VR. It just didn't have the survival aspect of VR.
That's the one thing I'm kind of curious about Red Dead. Like, what are the multiplayer aspects of it? You know, like, are you going to be able to form like a gang with your friends? Can you battle other players? Like, that would be so dope, dude. Yeah. And if it's like a battle royale situation like that, where it's like kind of just completely different than battle royale, but with similar kind of aspects, you know, that'd be amazing.
Multiplayer is going to be like their big focus, and they made that really clear. Like, we don't know a lot of details on multiplayer yet. I think one thing that leaked is you saw like the camp system that they had for single player. They're bringing that to like multiplayer. You can upgrade your camp and whatnot, invite friends over and stuff like that. And then like GTA has like their crew system. They bring that over with like gangs and stuff. You can have you know, individual gangs. But as far as that, a lot of details about multiplayer are pretty scarce right now, except for the rumors like battle royale and stuff like that. But
so
it'll be good, hopefully.
So going on,
if they do a battle royale, I really hope that it's like completely unique. You know, like
me too.
If it's just like run of the mill, the fog is moving in, or you know, like that'd be
some random copy and paste battle royale that we have right now.
I feel like if they make use of this time setting, like it could really be really unique and really cool. Like I really hope that they do that. Like they don't do any of the modern shit dropping down from like a parachute or anything like that. Like stick to this time period and it'll be cool and unique.
Yeah, I think the concept of battle royale could be applied to a lot of different things and could actually be like pretty, like they could still be making really unique games, but everybody's kind of just cookie cutter doing the drop out of the sky, land in a zone, fog moves in, you fight and you get closer to each other. But there's so much application for that type of everybody against everybody and only one person wins scenario, you know?
Oh yeah. So moving on to our next topic, we've got PUBG. PUBG finally making news on some of their things. So like one of the biggest complaints that you'll see about PUBG is everybody wants PUBG to fix PUBG.
The biggest complaint about PUBG is that it's broken.
Yeah, that it's broken, that it needs to be fixed. So
my biggest complaint with that game is that it still is going. I think it needs to die.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people still want it to live because it's unique and enough of a shooter that it warrants to be on its own. But the problem is that they haven't really put any work, like real actual work, into making the game work. Like actually like be performing well, like run well. It's on Unreal Engine. It has the potential to run really well. Like there's 3 or 4 other games right now that are using the exact same engine, using the exact same style of like movement and all that kind of stuff, and they're doing it 3 times better than them. And this is a company that's like 4 or 5 times the size of these other companies. So there's no reason they shouldn't be able to do it. So in that response, they actually launched their Fix PUBG campaign, which actually goes through in detail on like what you want to see or what they're going to do to like fix the game, like their big long-term plan for the next like 3 or 4 months. And it's got an interesting roadmap. Like it's got client performance in there, server performance, anti-cheat's going to be brought up better, matchmaking, and then bug fixing and quality of life issues. Some of it doesn't really do it, aside of like optimization based on server performance profiling, netcode optimization, which is a big thing, replication interleaving, which is interesting, and then they've got like of course the standard character movement and airplane mode sequences and stuff that are there. But
you know, I gotta say, like, this kind of brings up one of the things that annoys the crap out of me almost more than anything in the gaming industry, dude. And it's like, how much new content has come out for PUBG? You know what I'm saying? Like, why do developers add new shit to their games when the game isn't even working? Like, fix the game, make it work, get rid of your bugs, and then add new content, dude.
Or at least to get rid of enough of the bugs.
And Tutu, you're right. You know, like it's money, dude, making that money gesture because like they just want to make more money. But like at some point, consumers have got to like we got to put our foot down because like it's kind of up to us a little bit, man. You know, like if we just keep buying this shit, then they're just going to keep doing it the way they're doing it.
Yeah, exactly. We're sending the wrong message. So, but I'm really glad about this initiative as far as for PUBG fans. Like I fell out of PUBG. I like PUBG a lot though, but their shit was just so broken. I couldn't stand it. Especially like, I mean, Fortnite is really different audience, but Fortnite is so polished and so like it feels complete, and PUBG just feels like not complete. So I'm really happy that they're doing this.
It's a different.
I think a lot.
It's that difference between finding like a shit ton of bugs versus like on Fortnite. Once in a great while, you might run into a bug.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Fortnite
most of the complaints I hear about Fortnite, and I don't play it that much, but most of the complaints I hear are like balance things. It's not like, oh, something's broken or there's some major bug. It's like, oh, I hate the SMGs, you know, or some shit like that. I feel like a lot of people are probably like now that Fortnite is out and everybody in the world knows about it, and it's such a polished game, and it's still in early access or whatever, like I think people are holding other games to a higher standard, which is going to end up, I think it's a good thing, you know, because like before Fortnite, like, yeah, people would kind of talk about the idea of cross console play and stuff like that, but it was never a thing. And then Fortnite came out and was just like, yeah, hey, we're doing crossplay. And now everybody's like, how come this game doesn't have crossplay with every single game?
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm. And they're doing it right too.
Yeah, exactly. Say what you want about Fortnite, but they're doing everything right now. Everything. Right.
Yeah, they're definitely changing things in the gaming industry. Like they're changing the whole industry a bit, man.
Oh yeah, like expectations are definitely going a lot higher because of that, and then them still saying they're in early access and it's still this good a quality. It's just like they could be like they could say it's released today and everybody like cool, we're good.
Yeah, exactly. They could.
Like I doubt you're gonna get any resistance for the fact that they're like the game in the state it is. I mean, aside of like some little minor things, but
There's a
even
reason why it's like the most played game, right?
Yeah. Oh, exactly.
I mean, like, people still play PUBG because they want it to be something better, but, like, most of the people that are playing it are like, ugh. You watch any streamer playing it, and they're, like, complaining almost the entire time they're playing. Yeah. And Fortnite, like, every once in a while, like, Summit will complain that he's tired of building.
Well, then
that's pretty much it.
Like, add to the thing, you know, like, you can also add to the conversation that, like, there's been other battle royale games that have come out that are more polished than PUBG as well. Like, if you've played Realm Royale is such a good game, dude. It's fun. They're constant updates, and the game is super polished, dude. It's not buggy. It runs smooth. So it's kind of like, well, what the hell's PUBG doing, you know?
Yeah, like everything.
And they're all built, like, all these games are built on Unreal.
Which is the ironic part of it all, because, like, yeah, they're all on the same engine that we can clearly see that it's been it can be optimized very, very easily. So, but yeah. So some of the next stuff we got coming up is Battlefield 5 is getting its second closed alpha next week, which I'm actually kind of excited about. I'm hoping I could get Totally Accurate Battlegrounds. We're all, yeah. The game is actually hilarious
too.
Too.
So silly, dude.
It's fun as hell, though, man.
Yeah, it is.
Well, same thing. Like, if you guys got to try Cuisine Royale, it's like another. Yeah, it's another PUBG style.
You have like pans and shit.
Yeah,
dude.
your armor is pans.
Like, your guy just looks like a fucking. Actually, I'm not gonna say it. I think it's kind of racist, but
he looks like a chef.
Laundromat. There's just things hanging off of him everywhere.
But yeah, no, there's like. That one's pretty solid. But so going back to Battlefield 5, it's getting a second closed alpha next week, which I'm really excited about. I'm hoping. I don't know who's getting into it though. It doesn't really tell you on who. Oh wait, there is a thing that you could join. I missed that.
Randomized, like how the last one was.
Oh, it's on pre-orders.
Was it randomized? Oh, it's pre-orders. Okay,
it's pre-orders. So there's a lot of cool stuff that's going into that. Their first alpha gave a lot of good feedback back to DICE to fix a lot of things, which is really exciting. Hopefully a lot of that stuff's going to be fixed. They haven't detailed what's going to be fixed yet, so we'll have to stay tuned on that one and see what they pull out. But I'm excited, dude. I'm a way bigger Battlefield fan than anything. Like, I've played every major upgrade. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, for the past 12 years, every major PC upgrade I've ever done has been because of Battlefield. Like, every single one of them. Yeah, I bought a new PC or bought a graphics card or something better so I could play the game that I want to play and the way I want to play it. So it's every time. Like, it started back in Battlefield 2. I built my very first PC on my own after buying pre-builts for so long just to play Battlefield with a load time under a minute, because Battlefield 2 used to have a really bad load time with standard hard drives back then. This is before solid states were a thing. So, yeah, it's been a long time. Going on to our next stuff, which is kind of the big chunk of our show today, is actually QuakeCon was happening this weekend. And we got a ton of news about Fallout 76. We got some stuff about Rage, ESO, Elder Scrolls Legends, a lot of stuff about Doom Eternal, and there's quite a bit of, like, we're only like a third of the way through the show.
Quake Champions went free to play.
Yeah, Quake Champions went free to play. That's one big thing. Fallout. So Fallout 76, we'll start with that big chunk of stuff. Like, my God, there's a lot there. So the first big thing a lot of people probably already heard about was Fallout 76 is not launching on Steam. It's going to be launching on directly to their launcher, the Bethesda launcher, which everybody thought was kind of weird because they've always historically only launched on Steam. And they do some stuff on their Bethesda launcher, but it's usually like pretty little stuff for the most part. I mean, Elder Scrolls Legends is there, ESO is there. There's not much on there.
A thing like that too with Fortnite recently. They're not going to be on the Android store or something like that, which was like kind of a big deal.
Yeah, they're going
to change the subject.
Yeah, they're going on to just Samsung devices. I didn't really want to talk about Fortnite because we somehow cover Fortnite every week, so I was like, eh. But anyway.
Guess they're rebelling against our Lord and Savior, Gaben.
Yep, apparently.
Yeah, people act like Steam is like the end all be all. Steam. I love Steam, but it's not. Like there's.
It's just because it's the biggest one with everybody's games on it. So if you could use just one launcher for everything, it'd be great. But everybody wants to create their own damn launchers, and everybody's tired of everybody creating their own damn launchers. But the problem is Steam, because they take too big of a cutout. So I get it, but at the same time, it's like, damn it, can't you guys just cut your profits down a little bit because you guys are the biggest platform? Like, come on, guys. So the other big thing is Fallout 76 is going to have a photo mode complete with poses and fancy filters for your characters. So you're going to be able to do all kinds of cool stuff with that, which sounds pretty cool. Good for the fashion people that really like to do some of that stuff. They're also changing up how a lot of the perk cards are, or perks are. So it's not just perks. It's just, why are you playing sound?
What?
Oh, like autoplay stuff on things. So it started doing the part of the perk cards where Todd Howard was talking about it. But there's a lot of cool stuff, like how you're going to be able to swap out cards based on what you're trying to do and all that kind of stuff. So it's not just the points you shove in like a normal Fallout where you just shove in everything on the special stats. So a lot of this is going to change up how you play in Fallout 76, which is really cool. If you guys got time, the link is there in chat. They've got a lot of cool stuff that's on that. So yeah, this next one was a big concern for everybody when they announced Fallout 76. Was Jesus, guy, come on, guys. Like, PC Gamer, you need to learn how to embed Twitch links, right? They go and like put Twitch links in here, and they're all like with audio. So like 4 clips were in this thing just blaring at me at once. It's just like, come on,
guys. It's just to make sure you hear it, you know.
Apparently. So the other cool thing is, quote unquote, being an asshole in Fallout 76 will earn you a bounty paid from your own caps. You literally will not get rewards or XP for killing unsuspecting players. So PvP will literally cost you nothing. And they also get to have grants players the ability to claim a bounty on you, which pulls money out of your own caps just to do it.
That's awesome. I love that.
So
there's also a thing PvP unsuspecting. Like, isn't that how you get kills?
Like, yeah, in this one it's going to be, yeah. Somebody at Bethesda is
they're talking about like in the co-op. I think isn't the PvP going to be separate than like the co-op mode?
No, it's all in one world. All one world.
Because I saw a thing too that said that like if you're griefing people and shit, that it'll highlight you on people's radar. So like they'll just see you on the map like a shining beacon, basically.
Yep. Exactly. So yeah, if people start being like super jerks, then in your server you could go and, purposely go and hunt them down and make some money. So you get bounties put on you from the game, basically being like, all right, you want to kill people? All right, cool. Here, you're gonna lose money and do all this other stuff, which is really cool. I'm
interested to see how they're gonna roll it out. I feel like it could almost have an adverse effect where it's gonna almost encourage people to be jerks.
I don't know. Well, because it's actually playing off of kind of like the division system and
oh yeah, you're right. Now you mentioned the whole Dark Zone thing.
Yeah, the Dark Zone system. So it's really just like the Dark Zone system where you get highlighted and everybody knows who the fuck you are, and you're gonna lose money in your gear because of it.
So is there not PvP in the game? They're just gonna discourage you from killing other players, or what?
They want you to experience the stuff and do it on your own terms, but everybody's there basically. So everybody's coming out of the same vault and doing their own thing in this world, and they don't want you to be dicks to each other. Which makes sense, I guess, unless you're PvP flag. They also mentioned something about PvP.
I mean, why wouldn't they, if that's the case, why wouldn't they just make it so that you can't fucking kill other people?
I don't think it's like they don't want you to be a dick. I mean, of course, there's going to be people that are dicks, and
always.
It's going to be fun to be a dick occasionally, but I think it's just
that's what I'm saying. Like, that could be part of the fun is like...
It's just kind of managing it better so that
it's not encouraged. It doesn't feel like it's encouraged or like there's no repercussions for it. So they want you to have repercussions. But they also talked a little bit about having a toggle for it too. Like if you are open to PvP and you want to do it, that's a different story.
Basically, you can't be a dick for free. It costs to be a dick.
Yeah, unless you're trying to be.
That would make sense if there's like a setting where you could change it and be like, yeah, I want to like do PvP stuff.
Yeah,
because that was like kind of one of the things that I was almost the most interested in with this new Fallout, is that like the opportunity that you can go around and like fight other people and try to get loot from them, or maybe you're gonna get jacked. You know what I mean? Interesting. It's interesting.
So the other one too is they finally gave some details on how Fallout 76's nukes are going to work, which is actually kind of a big deal too, because everybody's been joking like, oh, you're going to go be a jerk to somebody, and all of a sudden fucking Timmy the Tatman Destroyer is going to come and destroy, nuke your base. What they're basically saying is that it's going to be coming up so rare that you only see it once in a great while, supposedly.
That's good. Yeah,
I did. I replied already this morning.
Going off all the damn time.
Yeah, so you're not gonna have nukes going all the time. So that's pretty cool. The article I just put in there actually kind of labels out how they're gonna do it. They talk a lot. They talk about it also in the keynote too with that. So definitely check that out. There's a lot of cool details in there. I'm actually happy the way they're doing it. So it's gonna turn out pretty good.
I was so hyped for Fallout 76, and now that I saw the Red Dead 2 freaking video, that's all I want to do. Like, it's all I can think.
I'm still hyped for it, but yeah, I'm more hyped for Red Dead.
It's cool because we finally got something for Red Dead to be hyped about, because like there was kind of a drought of information for Red Dead for a while, and we didn't see anything at E3 or anything like that. So
yeah, well, and it feels like people have been waiting. Like, I've been waiting for Red Dead 2 for ages and ages. Like, it feels like as long as I've been waiting for a new Borderlands game. Longer.
But yeah, oh man, I'm excited for either one. So the other big Fallout 76 thing is they're actually going to get private servers, which are finally confirmed. So people can actually go and just build something on their own, or just get their group of friends or their clan or whatever, and just go do a private server and role play and do all that. So that's a huge thing. And if you guys haven't checked out, there's also the beta FAQ that's out there. A lot of cool stuff that's going to be in this too. So if you guys want to know about how to enter your codes, how to do all that stuff, questions about the beta, it's all there.
Yeah, that beta FAQ was really interesting to me because it put that with the beta, you get full access to the game. You can carry over your progress like when it launches, which sounds crazy. Like, I don't think there's any other game that's done that before.
No. So that's pretty awesome on its own. So going in some of the other QuakeCon news, we've got Rage 2 is not going to support mods at launch, but they're going to try to do it in the future, which I thought was kind of weird that they said that. The first game, I don't remember the first game even having mods. So I don't know about this one.
I think it did.
It did?
Like way later though.
Oh, okay. So maybe it's going to be kind of the same thing.
Yeah, because I played Rage 1 super late, like never on launch. I played it like when it was like sales and like years later, and I kind of remember mods. Maybe?
It seems like something they didn't really even have to make news about.
Yeah. It didn't really, it didn't really need it, so I don't, maybe unless that was the thing. So the next one too is we've got Elder Scrolls Online is actually getting their Wolf Hunter DLC out Monday. Well, tomorrow. So I was really surprised like how fast that's going to be coming, but it's also
that's crazy. They just came out with Somerset, didn't they?
Well, that's the expansion, but this is just a DLC like quest group. And you don't have to do these like in any particular order. It's just when you want to start running that quest line. But right now I think there's like 15 or close to 15 different DLC quests things, like quest updates you could do basically, and yeah, so this is a DLC, and then the next expansion is coming out later this year, which is kind of fast. Like, holy crap, because Somerset just came out. Although Somerset's
pretty cool.
Somerset's like whole storyline really doesn't take too long though. It's like a two or 3 day run if you run straight through it. But yeah, it's definitely got a lot to do in there. But I'm actually excited for this because I've been playing a lot of ESO lately. Not this past week, but lately I have been.
I really want to get into that game. It's like every time I do, it's just something about it. It's just I don't really like the way it plays.
It's it's slower than some of other MMOs.
Yeah.
So I think that's the thing. It took me a little bit to get used to too, but I like the amount of customization options and everything into it.
I love the amount of content that they release, and that's why I really want to check it out. But I downloaded it again, I played it, and I was just like, oh god.
I've been enjoying it. But yeah, it's a little odd. Like, it seems real slow paced and stuff, but I like it because it's pretty chill, man.
Yeah, and it's also like, really good in the voice acting and like the immersive part of it. Like, is really good, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty immersive, and the storytelling is really good too, actually.
So that's like the big keys for that. So keeping on the Elder Scrolls stuff, Elder Scrolls Legends, the card game, is actually going to have it's going to launch on consoles that also is going to support PC crossplay. So you're going to actually be able to play with anybody, just kind of like Hearthstone and stuff like that. But the difference is obviously you're going to be able to play on consoles, which Hearthstone still currently doesn't do.
They said that it's going to launch only on consoles that support crossplay. So basically saying
only on consoles.
Yeah, not on PS4. They're saying fuck Sony.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus.
I feel like the industry is just gonna force PlayStation to do it. Even Ninja made some comment earlier this week about it, saying that like they're being assholes and greedy or something like that.
Yeah, I love this, and this is why I put this story in here, because you're going to start seeing more devs come out and start defying Sony, defying PlayStation, putting their games out on everything else except for Sony, which is awesome.
And there's already
doing that.
Of course.
And there's already multiple companies that are already starting to do that.
Now big companies are starting.
As soon as the big companies start doing it, then they're gonna start paying for it quite a bit.
I'd be interested to see too, because I'll bet you the PC gaming market has been like stealing market shares from console for years now. I bet, dude. Like it's just become more popular and prevalent and cheaper to get into.
Yeah, especially in the last couple of years, really, I think it's going to be like the Steam Machines thing was really kind of a start to that, but yeah, it's definitely not done yet.
Well, and especially with like platforms like Twitch and Mixer being so popular right now and everything, because like people are watching these streams, and everybody who's, well, not everybody, but almost everybody streaming is playing on a PC, and they're like, yeah, it's just better, you know. So like, I don't know. I feel like consoles are gonna have to step up their game, dude.
Oh yeah.
It's just they gotta stop fighting crossplay.
Yeah, they gotta. If they stop fighting crossplay, then they'll be fine. Like the people
consoles are still a viable solution if you don't want to spend like $2,000 on a computer. If you want to go spend $400 and like have fun and play casually, that's great. But it shouldn't limit you from playing with PC players.
Exactly. I mean, really, you're right. Sony's big worry is like, oh, they're gonna buy something on the other store versus our store. No, like people that have your console, like you guys are the leading console seller right now. Like, what are you guys so afraid of? Yeah, not for long if they don't stop doing it.
They keep this shit up, nobody's going to buy it, because like you can buy an Xbox and play with your PC friends. Like, who wouldn't want to do that?
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And also, even Xbox is doing it even better, because you can buy stuff on the Microsoft Store and game share to yourself on console.
And multiple people.
Is getting cheaper anyways, man. Like, it's like I said, like I'm playing on the GeForce Now thing, dude, and like it's actually decent, man. And it's a super low barrier of entry, you know, like you don't have to spend $2,000. You can have a potato.
No. Then getting into some of the other QuakeCon news is Doom Eternal. I'm actually kind of excited about this too. Like all the news that came out for Doom Eternal made me way more excited about it. Like, because I'm a big Doom fan. I played Doom like even back in like Doom 1 and 2 days, like way the hell back. So they're making mod support a long-term goal, which is kind of interesting how they're mentioning their specific mod supports for games, but Doom Eternal is going to have a very long-term target for that, which is kind of cool. It is going to have single-player DLC, which I don't think they did in the first one. It was more multiplayer, all multiplayer DLC. So that's kind of cool. So that's a big thing, I think, for that. And a lot of the stuff they announced for that, even too, like they kind of were vague about it, but man, there's a lot of cool stuff that's going to be coming to that. One of the things that made it so much more appealing to me is a lot of people love the single player. I love the single player, but the fact that you're going to be able to invade other players' single player campaigns is just amazing.
Yeah, that sounds cool. Like you can invade their campaign as a demon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you come in as a demon, awesome, and you can team up and do a group and go like Slayer hunting, but it's all optional.
Yeah.
This adds a lot of replayability.
Yeah, that's going to be amazing, dude.
So that really makes it kind of cool, because you're going to have like, you know, like Dark Souls kind of features, but you're going to be able to fuck with them even more, because you can go as demons and do all this other stuff and just completely screw with the players'
I can't wait to get invaded by Dickweed 69.
Oh man! And then we talked a little bit about this earlier. This is Quick Champions is now permanently free to play. You just have to unlock the characters, or you could buy like a Champions pack essentially, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, if any of you guys have ever played like Paladins, you unlock the characters inside of Doom, freaking Quake, the exact same way. Like, so as you play, you gain favor, which is like the in-game currency or whatever. And I think they're like 250,000 favor for each champion. They're all the same price, so it's not bad. If you're grinding the game, you can just unlock all the characters, you know.
Oh yeah. So one of the weird topics that kind of came up this week was Discord is going to start selling games, kind of like a Steam Universal Game Launching platform, which is really interesting. Like, Dankweed 69 isn't the worst name for a demon.
It makes sense. It makes sense because like gamers use Discord, so why not?
Yeah, I mean, it's already used by like, I think it was like 20 some odd million users now. Like, it's ridiculous on how high that is. And but yeah, you're gonna have a whole, like, you know, basically 50,000 random Canadian, or wait, beta has been rolled out for 50,000 random Canadian Nitro users. DC, have you gotten it?
That's a hard no.
It's a hard no? Darn.
I think that's really cool. I feel like Discord is so universal as far as like gaming and, you know, being a platform for gamers. Just to have another, you know, Steam competition or any competition, I think is really great. I mean, of course, I don't think it's going to outdo Steam or anything or replace Steam even, but just to have, you know, those options, I think are really cool.
My only concern is like, I hope that Discord doesn't become spammy, like trying to sell me shit all the time.
Oh, I hope not either.
Sorry, DC, didn't mean to cut you off.
Well, it's just like, it's hard to replace Steam because Steam's not really doing anything wrong.
Yeah,
it's easy when like when you look at PUBG versus Fortnite or anything versus like something shitty, it's easy to like be better than that. But like Steam's not really doing anything wrong. They have wicked sales. They pretty much have everything. They have tons of support. Like, it'd be so much easier if they were like fucking everything up.
Yeah,
I think that they've just kind of like locked down the market persona. It's not necessarily that like customers are, like, you know, nobody's mad at Steam. Like, Steam is great, right? But like, there's really no competition. They don't really have any solid competition.
Yeah,
and, that's what I was like Origin Store for a while, but like,
Yeah, I mean, like, I didn't mean to imply that like nothing. You know, Steam is amazing. I love Steam, and I didn't mean to imply like that. You know, I want this to replace it because I don't. But I think it's just great that Steam may possibly have some competition.
Oh yeah. I mean, like competition is good. I mean, I always believe that competition is a good thing because all it does is strive to be better for us. And like the only winners in the end are us.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I wasn't saying that there shouldn't.
That's not always true.
It's hard to
but we don't need to have an economics discussion.
They don't really do much at all. Yeah, I could see that. Noisy. The other cool thing that I heard we got to talk about this week is Shadow of Tomb Raider is actually going to let you independently tweak your puzzle, combat, and traversal difficulty separately, which is kind of interesting because before it's always like you just play in the 1 through 4 levels of difficulty basically, and you're stuck with that, whatever that is. So if you go in too high of a setting, but combat feels easy, but the puzzles are super hard or something like that, you get kind of stuck in some places, which happens a lot in the Tomb Raider games, at least that I've experienced. And the fact that they're allowing you to change these independently is really freaking cool. And it's definitely a first for them. First for anybody, I think, because like you usually can't go and change your difficulty settings independently like that. So that's going to be really cool.
You know what needed that? Prince of fucking Persia needed that.
Prince of Persia really needed that. Like, I love the Prince of Persia games. In fact, that's a game I would love for Ubisoft to bring back. Like, that would just be a fantastic series to bring back, or even just remaster, like remake it. Like, screw it.
Yeah, Sands of Time was awesome.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sands of Time was amazing.
Once you got done googling the wiki and like how to solve all the shit.
What's up, Dodger Project? We see you here, Ben. Battle Royale is actually finally coming as a standalone game. Launches in early access next month, which is kind of interesting. Battle Right by itself is a really, really fun game, but them doing
Isn't that game free to play?
Yeah, it's free to play.
Yeah,
and it's really, really fun. I love it. Like that's the only real MOBA. It's not really as much a MOBA, I guess, because you're not going through the traditional like 3 lanes, you know, doing that. No, it's just a PvP. Like it's a battle arena, a straight battle arena, not just a a lane system. So you're going in there and PvPing with other people or bots or whatever. But I like the abilities play out so much better.
It's like a less structured MOBA in a way.
Basically. It's just like, no, it's straight. I want to go and fight you, not your fucking minions, basically. So
Right.
So
that sounds kind of dope. I'm gonna have to try that out.
Yeah, if you ever want to play, dude, I'll play with you. I'll be your healer or something.
Yeah, I barely played it, but I liked what I played of it.
So this is the next topic we got is actually kind of a cool one, but it's kind of long overdue. I feel like Riot is finally promising to bring a zero tolerance policy for sexism and discrimination, which I feel like has been like a couple years overdue for them, to be honest, because my God, they've got really like toxicity issues. Like that game is notoriously known.
Everybody already have a zero tolerance policy for shit like
that?
That's
what I'm saying. It's like that's what I'm saying.
That's where we were in society now. Is like nobody puts up with that shit ever.
But it's funny that they're just finally promising to put it in there, and they're basically, people are getting tired of just like, either girls hating on guys or guys hating on girls, and it's literally a two-way street in how League of Legends is. And like that game is like overly notoriously known for being just super toxic inside and out, basically. So I'm happy that they're finally taking steps towards it, but I think that's only the start, essentially, because my God. One of the other, so getting into our big topics for today is Twitch news. Like some of these Twitch news that's come up this week is kind of stirred up a lot of people for different reasons too. Like it's kind of crazy on how much different feedback I've seen for a lot of this. So Twitch is actually taking out IRL section and creative, and everybody's really happy about the IRL one, but creative has kind of tossed some people into different directions because
problem with creative? Like, why do they, like, I thought creative was good.
So it's good. It's just too bunched for the different things that people throw in creative. So as kind of like the process of this, they're making 10 brand new categories to kind of actually like split these up into more segmented things. So like IRL is mostly taken over by ASMR streamers, which everybody's, been kind of salty about because it's not IRL really. It's just them talking into a mic and sitting there, trying to caress your ears a little bit in some way or another. But and you get all these different ones, like people walking around and doing stuff versus them just talking to chat and getting all their stuff. But the communities they bring, I didn't actually get the link somehow in here. So let me see if I can find it real quick.
I just gotta say, like, I think this is a good thing, and the more categories and ways that they can split up content creators like that is good, because it's super hard to get found on Twitch. And if you're like a streamer who does something really unique, it's still like, it doesn't matter because it's super hard to find you. Like even like not to bring up Fortnite again, but like Fortnite has battle royale, but then there's also the little niche save the world community, and like there's people that are streaming that, but it's hard to find them because there's like 100,000 fucking battle royale streams and stuff. So like the more categories and stuff they put in, I think it's better all around. Even with creative, because like creative is just too broad, like you could it's just way too broad. It needs more specificity.
Yeah, with like the IRL and creative, that doesn't really apply to that. But the next part is the Twitch removing communities, which has kind of brought a lot of people in, a lot of indecisive. Like there's a lot of people that are really happy to see them go away, because they're kind of a useless feature for most people. Then there's other like communities like Twitch Kittens, for example, that are really upset about this because they build their community around having their community section versus their Twitch team, which are like two entities. Basically, if you're like good enough, you basically go and get into their Twitch team eventually. But everybody starts and discovers people by being in their community. So like groups like that are really the most upset, but it's kind of weird. You've got a spectrum of both ends of people on that. Sorry, what were you gonna say, Captain?
Yeah, like I totally understand that. Like it didn't really do much, especially in terms of viewers. But like I'm a part of this community that's called like the Cookout, which is a community that caters to like streamers of color and like LGBTQ streamers. And like that was a great way of how we found each other and like interacted with each other and hosted each other and rated each other, was by going to the community section and finding different streamers. And so it's kind of sad that we don't have that anymore.
Yeah.
Really sucks.
So like their replacement for communities is going to be the ability to tag your stream. And they haven't really specified how many tags you could have, which is the big unknown. Like if you could only tag yourself with like 1 or 2 things, it's really not going to make much difference. Like then it's going to be useless to take out communities. But if you could tag it in a way that, you know, helps people find you, then maybe that might make the difference. So that one's kind of still to be seen or to be determined, but that's coming sometime next month in the middle of September. Middle to late September when these are coming out. So I'm kind of interested to see on what they do with that. Kind of going into the Fortnite topic though, with like the most viewed games on Twitch and like kind of the trends of Twitch in the second quarter of the year, Stream Elements is coming out with this cool thing called the State of the Stream, and it's really cool. It's like a really Intuit like info panel that comes from a company called Sully Gnome that goes and monitors all your stream stats, and you can actually like track everything in terms of how you did on each stream. Like if you got trends up and down, like what you saw did good, what didn't do good, which is fantastic in a way. And a lot of this stuff, it goes through like the most viewed games on Twitch in 2018. Now we saw from first quarter to second quarter, it actually shows like an info panel here, where the first quarter it was okay. League of Legends was up there, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds was up there, but it sees like the trends of what they did from first and second quarter, and the trend from first and second quarter for Fortnite was a 74% increase in Fortnite viewership, an 11%, almost 11.6% drop in League of Legends viewership, 9% drop in PUBG viewership, but then you see like Dota, IRL, Hearthstone all jump up 10 to 30%, or 14 to 33% actually. But then you see like Counter-Strike dropping 47% in the second quarter, which is really interesting. Same thing with Overwatch, another 5% drop from them. They've actually been consistently dropping over time. Like people are just starting not to care because a lot of the Overwatch updates are really long and drawn out. Like the updates are pretty far apart. Like,
you know, love it or hate it, I feel like a lot of the competitive, like the people who want to watch competitive gameplay are watching Battle Royale streams, man.
Yeah. And it's kind of shifting, and that's where a lot of this, like this info panel really shows that. Like a lot of this stuff is changing just because of Battle Royale. And then you get like to World of Warcraft, that's only dropped 2.5%, which is kind of normal just before a new launch or a new expansion launch. So everybody kind of dies off for a little bit, and then they start coming back. So in third quarter, we're going to see a huge jump again, of course, because Battle for Azeroth is about to come out.
Tutu's politically correct answer there to Dr. Project.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm glad somebody addressed it. I would have answered that differently.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. At the same time, yeah, it's really taboo. A lot of them are pretty much just that, which is sad. But yeah, at the same time, they are entitled to do or wear whatever they want, as long as they're going by TOS, and which they are. Like in terms of the new TOS, as long as it's appropriate to wear in a mall, you can wear it out there, and yeah, you can see some pretty.
Can't make fun of anybody. That's bad.
Yeah.
You can have all your bits and pieces showing.
I mean, there are definitely problems, but you know, as
there are problems, but
anybody, then...
I think to try and say that like all ASMR streamers are like bad content creators or just
at the same time
to sell sexuality is just not true. There's actually some ASMR content creators that are like that actually work really hard on their content. You know, if you go through YouTube, you can find like a lot of like you find people that are really like they work hard at it. They put a lot of stuff into their videos, and you can tell they put a lot of time and effort into them. You know what I mean? So.
Oh yeah,
it's kind of a broad generalization to just think that they're all just trying to sell sexuality.
Well, and I've seen a couple. I mean, and it's not very common, but I see a few guys that do it too, just the same, and they do it more on their sounds and less on their voice. So it's really different.
Oh, they don't do muscles. I was about to show off my non-existent.
But a lot of cool, like a lot of stuff that is really crazy that's in there is the 2.5 billion hours watched in just the top 10 games, and they show only really 4 games, which is kind of interesting. 630 million hours have been watched in Fortnite, but CSGO saw a 47% drop in viewership, 9% drop in PUBG. But then you go back to Destiny 2, a 214% increase since the Warmind release, which is kind of interesting because like apparently that fixed a lot of things people hated about the game. So we're seeing a huge increase for that. But then you get into
I mean, I guess you know what though, it received such a large increase because so many people fell off from watching it. Like everybody gave up on it, dude.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, and then you get into like the top 5 in 2017, which is kind of interesting. So League of Legends was still number 1 in 2017, and then it became to Dota, then PUBG, but then Fortnite and Heroes of the Storm were so small and so in there they were not there. Then you go into, sorry, that was the top 5 viewed games, and then you go most 5 stream games in 2017. It was still League of Legends, then it was PUBG, then it was Fortnite, then Dota, then Heroes of the Storm. I don't know why they threw Heroes of the Storm in here. That seems really irrelevant. They should have put Counter-Strike in there.
I'm interested to see what the percentage for Destiny 2 will be after Forsaken officially launches.
Right.
If
really
it has another spike like that, I'll be super surprised, because I'm guessing that 240% or 214% increase in May was just basically gaining like their fans back that stopped watching it on Twitch.
Yeah, and they'll be at the so the next day of the stream we'll have to keep an eye on this and see what it does, because it'll be at the end of Q3, so we'll see how that turns out. And then IRL streaming, of course, has gone up. Like a snap back to reality, this is like the rise of IRL streaming and how many people have done it. Like 35,000 channels that were added to IRL in 2018, which is kind of interesting. Like there's a lot of this really cool metric stuff. I don't know if you guys want to dig into this more, but it shows a lot of cool stuff. One of the ones, I can't remember what was the one we made fun of in this, because they talked
Sea of Thieves.
Oh yeah, so they call it Sea of Thieves. They were like, oh, like here it is, and then one of the part goes, it says Sink of Thieves. It's the title of the section.
No Man's Sea. No Man's Sea.
No Man's Sea.
No Man's Sea.
So 11,000.
Oh, you go ahead.
It's at 11,000 streams during January in the beta, and ranked number 9 on Twitch. 66,000 streams in March. Peaked were 15.5 million hours viewed, but then immediately saw a 93% drop by June.
You know, part of this is probably why we're seeing Twitch doing things like getting rid of IRL and trying to make more categories, because like really, if you go into IRL, there's people doing music, there's people DJing, there's people fucking doing art, there's ASMR streams, there's just like so much different shit going on in there, you know?
Oh yeah, and I mean, and the stuff that they showed off in their board for all the different categories makes perfect sense. Like it's great that they're splitting these out. I mean, they're putting ASMR in their own thing. They're doing a Let's Chat in their thing for people like starting the stream and just want to chat to their audience. Talk shows is getting apparently a big improvement, which is really cool. They're adding a podcaster
Let's Chat
stuff.
one is huge, because it's like a lot of times people just start their stream and they'll start in IRL because they're gonna like chat for an hour or something, you know.
Yeah, and that's something you and I would love to do more so on my streams too, instead of just starting up and playing games. Like I don't always want to just start my game, start my stream playing games, and that's pretty good. But yeah, so moving on from that, we had like an interesting article that dropped from Polygon this week, and they talked to him when he was talked to Ninja when he was out at what thing was this?
This is so dumb.
I think Lollapalooza.
Yeah, it might have been Lollapalooza, but it was some. There was another one they were talking to. So basically, it comes down to Ninja protects himself in a future-forward stance of basically only playing with male streamers. But the reason he's only playing with male streamers is basically to protect his relationship with his wife. And
yeah, that's a smart choice, man.
On the choice of it makes sense, but it pisses off. Like it has pissed off a majority of female gamers and Twitch streamers for this reason.
I don't see how that makes sense unless your girlfriend, unless your wife is super jealous. I think that's just dumb.
Yeah, I think
like I feel like this is Mike Pence. I'd like not to bring up politics, but there was a thing last year where they're like, "Oh, he won't eat dinner with another woman."
Yeah,
like that is so stupid, bro. That's dumb.
Like, okay, so on this perspective, it could totally be fine. I mean, if you look at it, the relationship him and his wife have, which this is all, of course, only from a public's looking in, basically. His wife is his manager, his stream manager. She manages everything in terms of the stream, like what's coming in, what's going out, all that kind of stuff. Why would that be threatening if she was managing that process, like who he's playing with?
Unless he's doing a really insecure type thing. That's just dumb.
Why would you put yourself in that situation though? Like, if you look at like things like what happened with the doc, like my wife gets jealous if I'm watching like female streamers that are hot, so I just don't do it. But that guy
cheated on his wife. Like he actually cheated on his wife.
But because that stuff happens, I totally understand his position. Like, he's not going to benefit by playing with female streamers. I don't think he needed to announce that he wasn't going to do it. But
he doesn't benefit by playing with any streamer, dude. Streamers benefit by playing with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like he's got no reason to play with a female streamer, so like he can just totally just not.
He's got no reason to play with any streamer though.
Yeah.
Why does it feel different for females?
Because he's protecting himself.
It sounds really insecure to me, dude. It sounds really fucking insecure to me.
At the end of the day, he's allowed to play and say whatever he wants, right? Like,
yeah,
I'm not playing with chicks. I think people are making a big deal out of him just like protecting himself.
Like I said, I don't. It doesn't matter with me either way. It's his personal preference. To basically, a lot of the reasons why he did it, at least in terms of this article, was basically he just doesn't want rumor mills starting like, oh, is he dating this person or something like that. And they use a couple pretty good. They use a really good bunch of, in the article that I linked in the chat. They bring up some really good examples of why this doesn't happen, like why he doesn't want to do it. And I understand it. Like as a person, I look at both sides and see where it really comes into. But it's basically just to get away from drama to begin with. Like he's snuffing that, stopping that somebody in the butt right away. He's not even trying to bring that kind of drama into his life. And one of the ones he brings.
I don't understand why people are getting butthurt about it.
Like TSM Myth. They put a clip on here and ask him, hey, well, so what's up with you and this chick you've been? He's like, dude, no, we're just hanging out. And it starts as a rumor mill, and he had to deal with that for like a month. Because of just some random rumor mill. Oh, is he dating this other streamer he was playing with this one time? Like, is this a thing? Like, are they really doing this? And it's basically, he's doing it to get away from that. And I completely 100% understand why.
He's doing it to avoid drama, but in saying that he did that, he's created a whole bunch of drama.
Basically.
That's fucking dumb as shit.
But that's drama that'll go away faster than the fact of the rumors.
I was just about to say that. That's going to go away so
You really think that drama's going to go away super fast? Like, look, I don't care. He can do whatever the hell he wants. But there's like feminist people out there that are probably super pissed off. They're never gonna let him live that shit down, dude. Oh, you don't want to play with women? You're a misogynist.
Dude, they're just gonna get triggered by something else the next week and forget about it. That's what they do.
Basically.
I don't know. In my opinion, I'll put it this way. I don't care what he does. I think it's like, to me, it sounds super immature and super insecure. Like, you're not secure enough to where you can't interact with people of the opposite gender as you because your girlfriend might get mad or people are going to start rumors. Get that.
Well, in this case, this case is his wife, but yeah.
Like, he's completely entitled to his own opinion.
Oh yeah.
I mean, in the same regard, it's just bullshit because you're with the relationship, jealousy is natural, of course, but if you have trust, like who gives a shit? And who gives a shit about all those drama and rumors and stuff? Because like you know that like what's true and what's false. So it's like, in being a ninja, being like the biggest streamer on Twitch, like you're gonna get so many eyes on you regardless. So it's just,
and that's why this is blown up. Like I've seen the spectrum on both ends on Twitter throughout the week. Like just see what what has come out of this basically, yesterday. I saw this a lot on yesterday. I was sitting there just browsing Twitter, and I'm not even joking. I probably saw this article linked like every other tweet for probably a good 6 hours because I saw different streamers, big, small, on different people that don't even stream, and a lot of people think it's either bullshit or support him. Like I don't care. Like the dude does whatever he wants to do.
I feel like it's insecure, and honestly, it is.
It could be. And it could probably not even be him. It's just him saying, maybe how his wife feels. Maybe his wife doesn't like it. Then that's perfectly fine. That's their relationship to do whatever they want to do with it.
Plus, you're not going to choose like who you play video games with over like your wife's wishes, unless
basically
you're a dickhead and you're just like, fuck my wife, whatever.
Yeah, and I imagine it's a lot of it could be coming from her too, which it's like I said, it's not nor here nor there, but at the same time, like that's
all
their
he's got to do
choice.
is stream one more time with like a celebrity again since this news, and people will forget this ever happened.
Basically,
and then feminists will go find something else to get triggered about because it's like it's a new thing every week.
Well, I mean, people will forget it never happened, but like, and also too, like, there's a reason why people get quote unquote fucking triggered, dude, because people do asshole shit. And I'm gonna tell you right now, like, oh, I'm not gonna play with women. Honestly, for whatever reason, like, it's kind of a little bit sexist and super insecure, dude.
Yeah, we don't know whose end that's coming from. That it was just him that made the comment to the person.
I also like read a lot that his voice and his reach is so big, he can kind of like, he has the power to kind of just stream with women and put all this shit aside and just like like I'm streaming with women, you know, we don't have to flirt with each other. We can be just friends and just play and just hang out. Like he can do that. Like he has the power to do that.
Yeah, he's making it like in order to play with the woman, there has to be a thing between them. Where like, oh, that's not like, why can't she just be another human being that's playing a fucking game with you?
Did he actually say any of those things? Triggered, man. No, he didn't say those things. So this is you guys blowing it up.
Well, yeah.
Just saying that I'm choosing to just play with male streamers. Literally, that's all he said, and now people are like sexist.
Well, he said his quote was
towards women. He's just choosing not to play with women. That's not being sexist at all.
Yeah, he's choosing not to play with. He's choosing not to play with women.
Didn't even have to. He's not like I'm not playing with women because all.
Why did he even make a?
Now he's like making a stereotype.
Why did he even make a statement about it?
He didn't. He was asked it, and that's what the response was. Somebody, the reporter asked it, and then that's what the response was. Is I only play with male streamers to get in front and not have rumor mills about me hooking up with some random girl, you know, whoever it is, or am I dating this person?
Yeah, so like even if his reasons behind doing it are not because they're females, he's trying to do it because of rumor mills. So
he doesn't want to.
It's even further not sexist. And so like anybody that's screaming that this is sexist, no, his reasons for doing this are to quell rumors before they start to preserve his relationship.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm claiming it's sexist. I think it's sexist.
It is,
but it's not.
You might as well say like, "Oh, I'm only playing with like straight male streamers," because it's like the same shit. Like,
or even
exactly, right.
Or can even
now you're bringing sexual orientation into it. So these are the rumors. Like, just imagine.
But it is the same thing. Though. He's saying he doesn't want his wife to think he's fooling around with anybody, right? So how does that?
No, he doesn't say that. He did not say that.
He didn't say that either.
He didn't say that. That's what I'm saying. He only said he doesn't want to play with female things to avoid rumor mills because he respects and loves his wife.
So if he plays with a gay streamer and somebody starts a rumor, then it's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, he could even quell that by even playing with his wife if he wanted to, really. I mean, if she was going to get on and play Fortnite with him or something, like that would even make a difference to some degree. It's not the same as playing with some other random streamer because she's also partnered too, but still.
Well, I guess the ideal situation is if he plays with everybody, sexual orientation, sex, whatever. Despite even if he doesn't like them, if it's bad publicity for fear of being called sexist or being prejudiced. Like I love that about like millennials in the new society is like if you take a stand, not even a sexist one, you just take a stand that this is your decision, you're doing it, and it's not because you dislike that gender or anything, you're just doing it because it's your personal choice. Then you get called out for being sexist when you're just like you're not allowed to have a free choice anymore without somebody shitting on it.
Basically.
Well, there's a lot of things that we're indoctrinated to think about, dude. Like he could be making a sexist decision and not trying to be sexist. You know what I'm saying? Like why does there have to be a difference between playing a game with a girl and playing a game with a guy? It should just be another human being, man.
So we should all have the exact same outlook.
But that's the problem is not everybody has that outlook, and somebody could go be like, oh, he's playing with some girl, is he hooking up with her? And that's the you got to think, a person is smart, but people are dumb. There's always that thing by itself. Like you get one person, that person can be smart and intelligent, but you get 100 people in a room, and that's not going to be the same thing. Or 100,000 people in Ninja's case most days.
I just feel like you shouldn't be motivated by other people and what other people may do or may think. Like
that's
you should
true.
be motivated by whatever the hell you want to do.
That's also true.
I mean, if you guys want to do that, then I guess
that's that's like some middle school shit. Oh, yeah. Rumors.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a delicate balance because he's also the biggest person on Twitch too. So I mean.
I wouldn't want to deal with that shit either.
I wouldn't want to.
Constantly, and you constantly have to be like explaining yourself and like answering these rumors.
If I were,
people just
but I don't understand. Like, here's the thing, though. I don't understand why he would even make a comment about this, even if people were asking him anything. Because, like, look, he tries to make an effort to be like a positive influence on Twitch or whatever, right? Like, he doesn't cuss on stream and stuff anymore because there's kids that watch him. Well, how many of those kids are going to be like, oh, you know what? Maybe I just shouldn't play with girls, and for whatever fucking reason. You know, whatever reason he gave, maybe they're gonna. What if they're gonna look at it the same way and be like, "Nah, I don't want to play with girls either." You know, like it makes it just so like it was such a stupid thing to say. He never even should have said it, dude. And in my opinion, it is sexist.
Yeah, and then there's and people in chat are making a lot of good things. Like J-Bay says, like fame does take a toll on relationships, and that's 100% always going to happen. Like the bigger you get, the harder it is for your significant other. And then
I'm not saying, hang on a second though. I'm not saying he shouldn't have a an opinion or be able to answer questions. I'm saying that why would he answer a question like that in that manner? Like, he's got such a big platform that everything he says is going to be scrutinized. So when he comes out and says something like, I don't play with girls because it could start rumors, he should have already known that's going to cause a big ass fucking thing and people are going to get butthurt about it.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
it loops back to
in the grander scheme of things, like, I don't care. Like, he's a good streamer. I'll still watch him from time to time because I like to watch him play Fortnite because he's insanely good. I just don't think, like, he's always talking about like how he needs to be a better influence and he doesn't cuss on stream and stuff and you know, this and that, and he stopped trying to like he used to always like call people out and be like, oh, you're a fucking piece of shit and you suck at this game and you suck at life, when he would play against him in games. Like, there's videos of him doing that stuff, you know. But like, for him to have said that, I'm not saying that he can't have his opinion or answer questions, and anybody can have an opinion or answer questions or exercise their First Amendment. You know, freedom of speech doesn't mean that free from consequences, though. That's the thing.
Well, I mean, nobody's free.
What consequences should there be, though? For him? Like, you're saying consequences, or consequences?
I'm not saying there should be. I'm saying that there will be. There's been a fallout because he said he doesn't want to play with women.
I'm probably gonna watch him more.
That's what I'm saying.
This, because I agree with what he said, and I don't think he's being sexist. So I'm actually gonna support that guy more.
You're entitled to your own opinion. So I'm more of a potato on this one, though.
I mean, it could go either way. He really could just quell that whole thing, and if it's a trust thing between him and his wife, maybe that's something they'd have to work out, or that's the way they've worked it out. We don't know. Like, that's their personal life, and that really delves down into their, you know, in-home stuff. That's not something anybody should really worry about.
I just think the whole funny thing about this argument is, like, his whole point of doing this was to stop rumors. And look at the rumors that are starting just because he said it. Imagine the rumors if he played with, like, a couple maybe not so trustworthy women or something like that. This is going to be way less than if he went the other way.
Yeah. At the same time, yeah, you have to look at it. Like, if you look at how other people have done it and how bad it's gone for them, he's basically safeguarding from bullshit in the end.
Yeah, like, people are already bringing up.
I agree. Like I said, I agree on both sides of it. It's absolutely easy to go either way. I mean,
I don't know, man. The only way that like I would worry about my spouse or my significant other or girlfriend or whatever worrying about me playing with people of the opposite gender, playing a video game with them, is like, I don't know, maybe we're still in fucking middle school.
Yeah, that's
yeah. But you have to take public opinion in that, and we like I said, like, a person is smart, but people are dumb, man. There's a lot of people that are just.
There is the argument to be made that most of his kids are. I mean, most of his audience are kids, so I can see that. But still, it's like you do have the platform and the power to, like, make a difference, do something different.
What's the real message?
It's all right. You know what? Hang on, though. But, like, it's not like sexism isn't a huge problem in gaming, because it is. Like,
yeah,
women always take shit in games. I know a lot of girls. Like, I play games with girls that, like, for the longest time, I didn't even know that they were a girl, because they generally don't do voice chat in games because they don't want to get, you know, they don't want to get harassed and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And so for somebody as big as Ninja, with the kind of platform that he has, to come out and say that he doesn't play with girls because of whatever reason, that just kind of blows my mind. Like, he has the opportunity to be an incredibly positive influence and help with the situation of people being sexist in gaming. But in my opinion, that sort of statement, regardless of the context behind it, it does the opposite. It has the opposite effect of helping to end or to stop sexism in gaming.
Yes, I
so
agree.
If we look at his actual message, what he said, not what you guys have made up about, like, oh, it's sexist, and he said all these.
I make shit up, man. I've read
at what he actually said.
He said, "I don't."
So the message that he is sending is that instead of hanging out with a bunch of other women, he's putting his being a faithful husband and putting his own relationship first. That's the actual message he's sending out to everybody, not the rumors and, like, the interpretations. But what he actually said
with women.
Yeah, but he's choosing. Yeah. Maybe he's respecting his wife's wishes.
You're the one twisting his words.
Yeah, but
he said he doesn't play with women.
He said he's doing it so he doesn't have to spread rumors, and that directly is towards his relationship. So obviously, that he's just respecting his own relationship over his video games. That has nothing to do with other female streamers.
Yeah, his one comment was, if I have one conversation with one female streamer where we're playing playing a game with one another, even if it's a hint of flirting that's going to be taken and be put on every single video and clickbait forever, and I'll never be able to. The other part was they cut out that was part of the video or the interview is that it'll remain on the internet forever.
Yeah, so he's putting his own relationship first.
He's like I said, yeah, and that makes sense.
That's a pretty good message, actually.
Yeah. Like I said,
I mean, come on, dude. When he dropped the N-word in that video when he was singing along with the rap song, that's on the internet forever too. He's
true,
worried
but
about
that's
playing with the gamer and what somebody might say about the conversations.
That's different than your marriage.
That's also a good example of how he's trying to make the right decisions going forward.
Yeah. Like I said,
would you put strain on your relationship? Like, we don't know his relationship, right? Like, maybe there is strain there, and maybe he's doing this because of that. You don't know.
You're right. You do have a point there. But I mean, that's the thing too, because like, I mean, not to get personal, nobody should pry in anyone's relationship. But you know, if you have trust, then like, why is this such a big deal?
Then, like I said, like on that spectrum, I also understand that too. But even if they had complete trust and did all this other stuff, it's not that they have to worry about. It's the fact that the stuff can start and it doesn't end well sometimes. Like, even if like it's just something they'd have to weather together, and that's a lot of shit and stress to have to deal with, especially since she's his manager too.
Yeah, it's just like, if there's an easy way to avoid that, you take a little heat now and avoid all that heat later. Why not?
Yeah, like I said, I understand it on both ends. Like, he could just kill it and be fine. And
like, well, but somebody asked him, like, are you going to play with women? And then his answer is no comment. Like, how many rumors does that stop?
Yeah. It doesn't really. Yeah, that really doesn't.
That's not any better. Like, at least he was honest.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like his reasoning behind it sounds like bullshit to me. I'm worried about rumors starting. That's dumb, dude. That's just dumb. And why would it even matter? Isn't he an adult?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, I like I said, I do see both sides, but I'm more on the side of like potato, where it's like, you know, it's just stupid to me.
I mean, I do, like, I'm not saying that my opinion is the only one that fucking matters. Like, I understand where you're coming from, dude. If you want to get ahead of a rumor or something like that, or, you know, whatever your reasoning, you know, that's fine and stuff. But I just feel like him saying that he just won't play with women for whatever reason, like, it's problematic to say something like that, you know, especially if you have such a big platform, man. Like, I love Ninja, dude. I feel like he's a positive influence on the gaming community and everything. And so, like, when I heard about this, I was like a little upset, you know, because he could be a better influence in that regard as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's always places where they could definitely improve and have fun on it too, and still do good. It's just it's a delicate one because it's his relationship. It's not just the fact that he talked about it. It's just,
I mean, I don't think Ninja's not racist, of course. He's not sexist, but you know, and what he did is a little bit sexist, man. Like,
yeah,
just
like I said, I agree. I agree with that too. But the reasons for doing it, I think, outweigh the fact of being called a sexist at one point.
Maybe he should have just said, "I'm not going to play with certain streamers, so I avoid rumors."
Well, then
nobody can get mad.
Well, then if he said certain streamers, then that's a whole nother bit of drama. Then everybody will wonder, "Whoa, who's these streamers?" And then they speculate forever and a day who that is, and then he's gonna.
So essentially, there's no good answer.
There is no good answer for it either way. No matter what, like there is
either sexist, or he causes home life problems, or people think he hates other streamers. Like, so no matter what he says, people just think he's an idiot.
Yeah, there's no win when you got the general public involved. It's just there's no winning. To me, it doesn't matter either way. If I were in his shoes, I wouldn't have announced it that way, but I would have probably stuck with what he was doing, to be honest, because I wouldn't want my significant other to deal with that kind of shit, like the rumor mill stuff.
I don't play with women is not sexist.
No, I think it is.
How? Tell me how, please.
What? How? Okay, so I don't play with women for.
I wouldn't say that though. That's what I'm saying. I would, if I were in his shoes, I would not say that.
The reason, what would make that like blatantly sexist is I don't play with women because they're bad at games. Now you're making a biased thing about like all women and you're generalizing them. He's just saying I don't play with women. That's sexist. But not playing with women because you're worried people might start rumors. That's not anything against the women. You're worried about your reasoning is towards the rumor starters. That's what makes that not sexist.
And it's
like, I'm not going to play with.
The whole problem I had with it is that I don't buy that reasoning, dude. Like,
well, that's
you're fucking worried about rumors? What are you, 12, bro? Come
No, it's internet. It's the cost of fame too, though. That's what I'm saying. It's.
I wouldn't want
we
to,
think
especially if I was that big as him, and you have to deal with rumors on top of all the other hate you're receiving. It's just another thing added to the pile.
Yeah.
Like, those guys are getting millions of messages.
But like that makes me. Does he interact with women in his real life then?
He interacts with his fans.
Does he just not talk to women at all?
Sex regardless, he interacts with his fans. On top of that, if there's already a bunch of...
but... Well, he doesn't know. And yeah, I don't want to go out further.
So he's a famous person. So if he's out in public, does he just avoid women at all costs? Because if someone sees him talking to another woman, they might take a picture and fucking post it on Instagram? Like... How is that any different
I don't know
than
on
what
that
he's talking about with gaming, you know?
I mean, to me, it might as like you guys are. I feel like are kind of seeing it in a different light. I mean, which is cool, but like to me, it's almost the same thing as like he might as well say like, oh, I only play with straight men and exclude gay men. Like, why not just go out and say that? Like, it's stupid to me.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I respect you guys' opinions too, man. We don't all have to have the same fucking opinion on everything.
Well, no. I mean, it's like I said, it's kind of, it's just having to see, like, if I were in his shoes with that big of a following, it would be tough. It would be tough to manage
at that point, right? Like, if that is his personal stance, and like, say there is something going on in his family life, and it's just easier that way, and it's a risk assessment. Do I take more heat now and have it be better later, or do I just let it blow over, start playing with women, and then my personal life degrades? Like, who knows, right? I respect that he was told the truth. Like, whether people believe that it's about rumors or not, I personally do, because social media is a fucking nightmare, especially when you're that famous.
It's so fucking binary these days, though. Like, he could have not done anything. He could have continued doing what he always does and not play with women, and decided.
What if somebody asked him that question? So what should have his answer been? Because we already said, like, if he said no comment, people are going to start rumors. And you know what I mean? Like, what should he have said? Yes, I'm going to play with women, but then he never does, and then people reference that he said he was going to do that and be like, why don't you play with women? Like, no matter which way you slice it, people are going to
it's not really the surface image here. It's the rabbit hole of every choice that it would have to be, every path that each comment would have made. And you can't, most of the time you could kind of tell where it would go in each scenario, essentially.
At least this one, he kind of controls it, and everybody's going the same direction with it, right? Like, with the odd people being like, whatever, and like digging into it too much. But if he goes no comment or like just ignores it or whatever, that leaves every avenue open for rumors. And if he's trying to avoid rumors, this was probably the safest path.
Yeah, I understand that. Like, for me, I think, and this is the last thing I'll say about it. Like, for me, the thing that upsets me about it is he realizes that he has a responsibility to be a good influence, and you can tell because he's changed the way that he interacts on his stream by like stopping cussing and trying to be a better role model for people, because he knows there's a lot of young kids in his stream. Well, I mean, if he's so aware of those kind of things, he should have known that sort of comment is going to have a weird adverse effect.
I mean, every comment he would have, any comment he would have said at this point towards this type of topic, it would have caused controversy either way.
It's actually kind of sexist that anybody even asked him why he was not playing with different genders.
That's true too. That, like, the question even should have been
like, that's like.
What if it was a girl who wanted to play fucking Fortnite with him? Hey, do you play with girls?
Well, but that like, why wouldn't you ask, hey, would you play with me, and not leave? Like, as soon as like, they brought sex into it and he answered it honestly, and people are freaking out. They could have been like, will you play with this streamer, and they left sex out, and if he's like, maybe. Like, sure, but they asked him directly, will you play with women?
Yeah, and that's the difference too. Like, if
that's a shitty question to ask somebody too, especially when they're famous. That puts them in a really shitty spot.
Yeah,
but like, nobody's gonna focus on the person asking their question. They're just gonna focus on Ninja's honest response.
Yeah. So like I said, there's a lot of different ways it could be looked at.
I don't know though. Like, I feel like it should have just been an easy answer though. Instead of, no, I don't play with women, because there could be rumors and shit. Like, what if somebody asked me, hey, do you play with black people?
I was gonna say the same thing, but exactly. It's stupid to me.
Well, I mean, that question's already been answered though. He has.
Yeah, I know. I'm just making an example.
Anyway? Like, why? Like, what kind of asshole are you to ask that and put somebody in that situation?
You just do an animal species. The problem is, there's so many that are triggered these days, especially with racism and sexism. There's definitely both in existence, and they're terrible things that shouldn't happen. But often people just hammer every little thing out. They're so sensitive to everything. You have to be careful what you identify sexism or racism correctly if you're going to call it out. Remember that story from your childhood, that kid that cried wolf. Yeah, I mean, I get it too.
Why nobody believes like those hardcore feminists that like when Trump got elected and like people were like, he's gonna rape us, and they're just like screaming. People just like don't listen to those people because they're not picking the right fight. Like there are things out there that are sexist and racist, and yeah.
I'm sorry, the feminists that came out against him were actually right. There's like tons of women that have cases against him and all sorts of shit, dude. He's paid off fucking porn stars to shut up. Cheated on his wife a bunch of times. I mean, like, do we really want to get into that?
Oh no, not at all.
Sexist.
Not at all.
Okay, so anyway, regardless, he didn't start rape mobs and like some of the things that people said that he was going to do. Like they took things and like went to an extreme level, and those are the people typically don't listen to. Like you said, the boy who cries wolf. Like people just screaming about this stuff. I'm not saying he hasn't done anything, but he didn't do a lot of the stuff that like these extreme feminists are saying that he's going to still do.
Yeah.
What people just talking about though? Like, I haven't heard anything about people saying he's going to start a rape mob. What the fuck is that, dude?
Like, no, there was just people blowing it out of proportion. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, he's talking on the end of it, people blowing it out of proportion, which there's people
like
in all avenues are already blowing it out of proportion for him trying to preserve his relationship, essentially.
But yeah, like there's stuff out there that obviously needs focus. Like there's real sexism in gaming, there's real racism in gaming, and I just don't think that this should be the frontline headline of anything when there's actually way more sexist stuff going on out there.
Oh, I mean, there's definitely far worse than this out there, especially on Twitch.
The only reason why this is becoming like a huge thing is because of who Ninja is.
Yeah.
That's really true.
He didn't like make fun of women for their looks. He didn't make fun of women for their skills and things. He didn't say anything biased or generalize women at all, or maybe even say anything derogatory towards women.
His comment towards the rumor mill is that their credibility is low when they complain about everything. Who are you even talking about? What does that statement even mean? Whose credibility? That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about
the rumor mills.
Like, he's saying that their credibility is low when they complain about everything. What are you even talking about? What does that mean?
Oh, the people rumor milling. Okay, so
the rumor mill people like they typically have low credibility.
Yeah. Vindy, role model because.
So then, why is he? That brings us to the point though. Like, why is he worried about people spreading rumors? If people just spread rumors,
well, it doesn't matter so much for like if you have like what we pull, like 38 viewers. If these guys start rumors, not a big deal. When you have like hundreds of thousands of viewers and those people start rumors, that wildfire spreads a little bit more. Even though the credibility is low, the mass volume of it carries a little bit of weight and makes it harder to deal with.
Yeah.
That's what he's worried about.
Yeah, that's really
if like two people are like, DC doesn't like women, and like maybe people will start saying that, and I'll be like, whatever. Two people think that, not too worried about it. If 50,000, 100,000 people start to worry about that and start mass tweeting things about that, that can hurt.
Yeah, and the rate of spread will be uncontrollable. So that's the thing. It's just that reach is so different. And like I said,
how bad internet pitchforks have been with just companies. Like somebody makes like a political statement that's maybe a little bit left or right, and they get fired from a company, like the Subnautica guy, because of internet pitchforks. He didn't actually make any bad statement, but people just raged about it so hard that it was easier for the company to get rid of that guy than to deal with the public outlash about a rumor.
What did he say? Who's that?
It was just something about like a political candidate. He was just supporting like either a Republican or a Democrat. He just supported something they were doing, and people were like, just went to the extreme with it. He's completely all the way to the right or left. I can't remember because it happened a while ago. And the company ended up letting that guy go because they didn't want to deal with that
on his private Twitter. It wasn't even on the Subnautica Twitter or anything like that. It was on his personal one.
It's not like the CCP thing where like they were doing LGBT stuff like on their CCP things, and people kind of got pissy. It was like completely segregated from the company and everything, and he still lost his job over it. And that's not the first case where that's happened. So like I totally understand Ninja's point of view here, because you have to be careful with this shit. So like just to segregate yourself from the rumors, totally smart.
Yeah, it's just.
I think it was unnecessary. I don't think he ever had to say a statement.
Yeah, well, I mean, he didn't have to make a statement at all, and the guy shouldn't have even asked the question. Like, I actually kind of agree with DC on this one. Like, the guy shouldn't have asked the question to begin with.
Or they should have gone over the questions prior to, and then he's like, "No, I'm not going to answer that. Don't ask me that." Like, if you just sprung that question on him, that's bullshit.
Yeah, and that's the response they got, because Polygon's been coming out with some interesting stuff lately. Now that I'm thinking about it, because they're the ones that actually wrote the Twitch Thoughts article too. Then going back to that.
Yeah.
So there's I think Polygon is trying to like live on the edge of that stuff, just going back up the ladder a little bit. But anyway,
that's good. I mean, we need to have these conversations in gaming, you know? Like if we aren't having these conversations, then like we can never like you can't come together on anything. And I kind of like this sort of platform where, you know, like we're face to face and even some of us have different opinions and shit, you know, cuz like trying to have like some sort of discourse on, you know, a media platform like Facebook or something, like it's just too easy for people to be assholes. You know, so like if you ever have a text chat with someone about like something like this, it's just like it just gets ugly. The conversation always goes way south and turns into name calling and shit, you know. Whereas like if you're talking face to face with people, like you can actually start to kind of understand, you know, the other side or the other point of view at least, you know, or respect it at least.
Oh yeah, I mean everybody's got a different point of view, and that's perfectly fine too. But yeah, I think in terms of news, that's pretty much all we've got today. Like we have a couple other small things that were there, like Smash Brothers getting Simon Belmont, and then King K. Rool, which is kind of an interesting one. And then I don't know if we wanted to talk about the Dead Cells debacle, but that is a whole nother
that's another thing we probably should, because that's a whole other mess.
Yeah, I mean that was its own kind of chaos. But if you guys want to read up on that, there is just definitely some crazy stuff there too. And I also, okay, so actually, to some degree, there's actually another point of view, too. Back on the ninja thing. I think another reason, too, a reason why he would want to protect himself in any regard is look at the high-profile sponsorships he's gotten recently. And look what happened with PewDiePie and even Logan Paul, if you think about it back, like how many big sponsorships.
For sponsorships, it would be way more detrimental to say something like, I don't play with women gamers, than it would be to say like, yeah, I'd play with them.
but then if he didn't, then that's another like we said, like if he didn't, either way, he said there's a cause and effect for each one, right? We think it could be easy.
If he would have just said, yeah, I have nothing against playing with women, I guarantee we wouldn't be talking about this. There'd be nobody trying to start rumors or anything like that. That's why I'm like, that's why the whole thing, I just don't understand why he said it.
Yeah, people would catch on because if you just look at his streams now, like he's never played with a female gamer or even talked about it.
That's why that question was asked too, because people caught on to it.
Yeah, but yeah, if you guys want to check out the IGN stuff, man, that was some crazy stuff that we heard about. And there's a lot of updates on that too. It's just some crazy internal drama and investigation on all this. So there's a lot of stuff on there, but we're already running way over time right now. But we're gonna go ahead and head off for the day, guys and gals. Thank you all so much for joining us today. I definitely appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Sorry I got a little crazy, and you know it's good like to have some extra conversation and debate about it, especially.
I really appreciate you, DC, and your opinions. I thought you really spoke from the heart, and you too, Potato. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, actually, I'm glad that we could have this, dude, and thanks for expressing your opinions on that too, DC. And the Inimical, thanks a lot for putting your words out there too, man. Because you know sometimes having these sort of conversations, it isn't easy, you know, but we got to have them, you know. If we don't have them, then no progress ever gets made, regardless of what side of an issue you stand on. So you guys are awesome.
Alrighty, guys and gals, thank you all so much for joining us today. I definitely appreciate it. And also, INNsider's on FatB TV now every week from now on. If you guys didn't know already, Imperium News is going to be strictly EVE content. So it's going to be all EVE Online all the time. And here on FatB TV, which is Imperium News' new channel, we're going to be also just running variety content here, which is why the INNsider is also here. So we strive on talk shows. We're always looking for hosts and stuff too. So if you guys ever want to come by, just hit me up on Discord in the Imperium Discord, discord.gg/Imperium, and you guys can definitely check that out.
Streamed all day Friday, so check out the VODs.
Oh yeah, lots of stuff we did.
They're mostly at PC because he streamed for like, what did you stream for, like 12 hours or some shit?
10 and a bit or something.
Yeah.
Long enough that I was tired.
But alrighty, guys and gals, thanks so much for joining us. Have a good one.
Peace.